Hey everybody, this is MICHAELANTONIO, and I have a challenge for you. We've all heard of the ice bucket challenge, where everybody's pouring cold ice water over their heads to bring awareness to help eliminate ALS, a terrible disease that I hope is eradicated from this planet very soon. But I want to take it a step further. I want to use the system that's already in place in our universe to give us the things in life that we need and that we desire. And I'm actually talking more about immediate or short-term goals, more so than a long-term thing. This is the challenge. And we have examples of how this works, and I'll give you one. We know, first of all, that God created a system in the universe where everything is governed by these laws of motion and thermodynamics. And if any of those laws are violated, the whole system would break down. So that's how important it was for us that God made it a perfect system where everything had to work together, down to the very tiniest subatomic particles. If any laws are violated, it's all over. And so I thought, I think God laid this upon my heart, that if that system works for the universe at large, it has to work in our lives also, for the things that we desire, the things that are good. And of course, my disclaimer with all this is it has to be something that's good. Obviously, if you want something that's not good for you or for others, that's not something God will honor. So we have to remember that. And of course, that's common sense. But what I want to do is start by going into this true story. This is a true account of what happened many, many years ago. There was a woman who was very sick for a long time. She had what they called an issue of blood, which means she probably was very weak from blood loss and, of course, in a lot of pain. So I want you to think about her life and what she was going through, very similar to probably many of you. You might have issues in your life, whether they be mental, emotionally, physical, spiritual. I don't know what they are, but she was experiencing something that was, unbearable. You can imagine for many years. The doctors at that time could not heal her. They couldn't do anything for her. So one day she had heard that Jesus was going to be in town. He was coming in. And she had heard the stories. I'm quite sure that she knew that he was healing people. So she already had this belief that, maybe this can be good for me. Maybe I can be healed if I just, go to him. And she even went to the point of, saying, if I can just touch the hem of his garment, just get a little touch on his garment, I'm going to be healed. And that's important. That's a specific thing that she desired, and it came to pass. That's going to be important. Now picture, if you will, Jesus coming into town with all these throngs of people around him. He was the rock star at that time. He was a rock star. Make no mistake about it. And wherever he went, crowds surrounded him. And it was very difficult for any individual to get in there, to worm their way through the crowds and push through and press in to get an audience with him, to even get close to him for that matter. So what did she do? She had to press in. She had to go in there and be determined that she was going to get what she wanted. And those crowds and all of that, all of those throngs represent the resistance in our lives. Whether it be our weakness, our sickness, or disease made her weaker, and it made it more difficult for her to get what she wanted, to get to that point, to meet Jesus. Then, of course, she had crowds of people around him, and that's a representation of the people in your life and the things in your life that tell you, you're not going to make it. No, I'm not going to let you get that far. And there's people in your life that will tell you that. You want healing? You've been sick for years. Nothing's going to happen with you. You're not going to get anything that you want. And come on, how many times have you faced that? Friends, relatives, loved ones, people who, they love you. Many of them love you, but they just don't believe. They don't have the belief. And so they want to tell you, look, yeah, I know. It hasn't happened for me. Why is it going to happen for you? So those things are not good. And you have to kind of think that, that's something that stops all of us, I think. And trust me, I've dealt with it. I deal with it all the time. Resistance, constantly. So as this story progresses, she pressed in. She made it to Jesus. Now here he is. He's walking with his disciples, with all these people surrounding him. And all of a sudden, Jesus noticed that his healing power, some of his power surged out of him. It said that, virtue flowed from him. And he stopped and went, what? Wow. And he asked his disciples, who just touched me? Wow, that I felt virtue. I felt this power come out of me. And what does that show us? That shows us that's more powerful than you even know. Because she didn't come to Jesus and come before him and pray to him and ask him, Lord, heal me, please heal me. And then he granted it to her. Now, yes, she was healed. She was healed when she touched him. But what's more powerful is that it just happened. He didn't even grant it. It just came from him when she exercised her belief. And that's what I want to talk about. God, he set up a system. It's a system. It's not simply just us consciously asking him. Now, yes, he wants us to do that. But he set up a system whereby when we set a specific, parameter, a specific action that we take, if our belief is that strong, that we say, if I just do this, I'm going to be healed. Or, this thing in my life is going to be granted to me. And that's important. That is so powerful. I want you to grasp that. It is so powerful. Just as Jesus, would give to any other person that would ask. It also came naturally. Just as that person set their faith to it. And even Jesus told the woman. He told her when she said, Lord, it was me. I touched you. I touched you. Jesus said, woman, your faith has healed you. And, God set this beautiful system up. Just like he sets up, for instance, Newton's third law of motion, which states, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. When we believe, we send that belief to God, saying, God, I believe you're going to do this for us. And what does God do? He sends it back to us. He sends that belief. He honors that belief with healing. But you really have to believe, and you have to press in. See, that's what's important, pressing in for what we want. That's very, very critical. And so this is what I'm saying. It's a system that was set up by God. And for those of you who don't believe in this, I want you to humor me. See, this is the challenge. So here we go. The challenge is thus. First, obviously we have our goal. What do we want? Is it a healing in our body? A healing in our emotions? Whatever it may be. Something specific for someone else. And I love it. It would be great for us to want for others. This is what God wants too. Be selfless. If you have a friend or a loved one, anyone that's going through something in their life, ask God, press in. So we have the desire. Then I want you to set a specific action that you are going to take that will set this law in motion. Okay, I don't know what it's going to be, but something personal to you. I want you to set that action in motion. It can be something very simple. For example, I am going to, go in and walk across hot coals. No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to do that. Just something very, very simple. I did something recently. And what I did, I'm not going to tell you what I did. It's very personal. But I did something to set those laws in motion. And it was very simple. And it took work. It took a little action. See, I want you to do something that's going to take a little bit more effort. A little bit more effort. And you're going to see something happen. And by the way, I want you to do this, take my challenge, do this, and then, give me some feedback. Everyone, wherever you see this, whether it be on YouTube, whether it be any social media where you see this, give me feedback and tell me if this works. Because I'm telling you, it's a powerful law that God created, just like any other law that he created. We set up systems every day in our world. We have computer systems, algorithms that do things automatically. And that's the way God wants it. He set up an automatic system. Remember, Jesus felt virtue flow out of his body. when this woman touched him. She just came up and touched him. And he felt it. It was a system that God had set up for healing because of our belief. God created it for us because he loves us. And so, take the challenge. And again, for those who don't believe, for those who do not believe in this, humor me. I want you to take this challenge. I want you to do this. Set up a specific action that you're going to take. And take that action and then just wait. And it's going to come. Now remember, this is for short-term things. Now obviously, if you're talking about, so I'm going to graduate from college and you're like 4 years away from it, well obviously, you got to put in the work to do that. This is for short-term things. If you have a sickness or if you have a, something that's been besetting you in life, whether it be the loss of a loved one and just you want, just an incredible degree of comfort in your life or whatever it may be. I don't know what it's going to be for you. That's personal to you. But I'm telling you it works. So please take my challenge and I want you to get back to me on this because this is very important. It's a system that was set up and I believe that it works. And God bless you all because, man, I really, really believe. I believe in this. So let's get it done. Ciao.